Well, DeVal has embraced the hashtag blaming on Zach. But as a fan base, I feel like we know this was not Zach's fault. Thankfully, Fatima was there at the hospital to kind of pull Zach out of his funk when, he found out about the baby being lost. And he's like, well, this is something I could have done. It's like, no, don't put this on yourself. Honestly, not sure how Karen could blame this on Zach, but you know how she can get. But I think at this point, she's going to be lashing out. And I personally think that Karen and Zach will talk at some point to kind of discuss, the situation, maybe a funeral for their baby, that kind of thing, and moving on from this point, because there's really no need to kind of be in each other's lives, due to the fact that he's not a co-parent now. I feel like there's going to be the 5 stages of grief. And I did that lengthy video about was Karen stress the reason for her stillborn baby. And that video was pretty well received. I don't think it did crazy in terms of views, but when I looked at the analytics in terms of watch time retention, a lot of people were tuned in. And the number of comments going, Jeremy, you said everything I was thinking. Hey, I agree with everything you said, and, so on and so forth. But we know that in this show, accountability and logic is something rarely utilized by these women. But I do feel like, Zach is already going to be beating himself up because of the situation, grieving the loss of a child that he never officially got to meet. And when it comes to Karen, I just hope that, she's not pointing fingers, but I just think about, the situation for what it is. I hope they don't go the route of blaming Zach, because it's like, okay, he's been, they just shit on this dude over and over again. And now is definitely not the time, because he's already grieving. The last thing he needs is somebody jumping, on his, on his case about this when he clearly had nothing to do with it. I mean, yeah, he might feel guilty about not being there, but remember, he was out there saving Andy's life. And even more so, even more importantly, he opted to go it alone because he thought about, oh, Fatima and the baby, I can't put them at risk. I had to do this myself. So he was being selfless in that situation. But there was nothing he could have done. There was nothing he could have done. So I really hope that it's like, you know what? I probably lost the baby because of you stressing me out and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. I know. No. Now, I want to be honest here. I feel like if the baby situation was reversed and it was Zach's baby that made it and not Aaron's baby, I could see him probably be pissed off at Zach. Like, your fault, Zach. You stressed her out, because we know how Aaron gets. But yeah, I want to be honest here. I don't think anybody is going to blame Zach. I think once, the grief is kind of gone, I won't say subsided, but when the grief is kind of decreased just a bit, I think everybody is pointing the finger at that Dr. Cruz for not doing his job. So that to me, I feel is priority, because nobody was looking at Zach. Nobody was looking at Aaron. They were looking at, specifically Danny going in on Dr. Cruz. So that's my thought process on it. So I personally think the whole blaming on Zach narrative isn't even going to be factored into it. Like I would hope we don't get a line like Karen's like, well, I bet you're happy because now this means you can give all your attention to you and Fatima's kid. Like, Karen could be nasty, but I just hope they don't insert a line like this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode review, which is, well, coming Thursday. So very soon.